Oh man. Wow. It's 4th of July weekend. Hey tubers. I'm just going to start out this video by saying I can't afford to pay today's gas prices. You know, I don't have unlimited money, so it hurts. And driving that big old Tundra just for a day trip for me to go kayaking or do something, man, if I go through a half tank of gas, that's 40, 60 bucks. Whoosh, gone. No, more like 50, 60 bucks really. And can't afford it. So I got a 2002 Camry that I've been driving, and I want to put a rack on it. Now I've got one of those old Thule square bar tower system, you know, there's the bars and then the tower and whatever clamps to the truck. I have an old one from, God, I got it like 95. It was on a Nissan Frontier. That's when Nissan back in the late 90s was making those cool yellow 4-door trucks with a rack on the top. I drove a cheap red one and put a fake rack with a little spoiler and everything. And it had horns on it, so it was extra cool. But the brackets that hooked the door panel on the Frontier actually clipped onto the rubber like door gaskets that were part of the roof. Didn't really work all that well because with the rubber it would kind of vibrate and shift depending on how the boats were pulling. So you kind of had to keep an eye on it and definitely use a front and a back guide rope. Well, I wanted to try to use it on the Camry because when I looked online, it's like between $500 and $800 to get a new rack system, and I don't seem to be able to figure out with Thule or any of the websites how to find this specific style clamp that would catch the Camry door. And remember, we're talking 25, 30-year-old rack system. Yeah, at least 20, 25-year-old rack system. Yeah, 95. Anyways, doesn't matter. So, after just, you know, life, whatever, I've realized I've got to make that rack fit the Camry so that I can be going and doing like normal. Because when I get the call, I don't want money to be the one reason I don't go do something fun or exciting. It's the truth sometimes. Health is the other reason, but I want to be able to see, I can afford to, you know, spend 25 bucks, 30 bucks maybe, and that's gas for the whole day. That's cool. But when I'm spending $50, $60 gas for the day, that hurts. And that takes away from fun and other things that I need or want to spend my money on. You know, gotta keep myself right. Okay, so what I had to do was basically with a claw hammer beat the crap out of this rack, the brackets, until I finally got something that fit the Camry. And I actually got to say that the fit is better than it was on the truck that it originally was purchased for. This time the bends are actually going into the metal hood of the roof. I don't think this thing's going to move. It might not be as pretty, but it's solid. All right, I'm doing the final adjustment to get this thing down. So I guess I need to put a more angle on this, and we'll see what it looks like. Well, it seems pretty solid. All right, I'm just going to cut the bars down and call this a rack. All right, that's not moving an inch. Well, all right, I got a rack on here. Let me cut down the bars and set it up. Well, banged the brackets so they fit. And now I'm going to cut the bars down so that I don't hit my head or anybody else every time you get in and out of the door. That was easy. And I have measured all of this so that everything should still line up correctly. Let me slap on a couple of these end caps. That way everything still looks factory fresh. And I'm going to get my tape and do a little more measuring so everything's centered up, and then I'll just put it on the truck. Yeah, these rack systems are outrageously expensive. But what I've done is I beat them flat, and I'll show you little bits and pieces, and then I beat it over again. And then when I finally got the fit I like, I tapped them in to wrinkle the hood a little bit, the roof line. But you can't pull them up. They don't shift across. They don't wiggle sideways. They are down. And I will keep adjusting them down to tighten them up. But I have reused a 25-year-old rack. My God, it's been sitting under the house forever. And now I have it. I want to do a day trip and kayak. Hell, I can even throw a ladder or two on the top of this if I needed to work out of it. Cool. Hey, you got to save money where you can, folks. If you can reuse it, recycle it, rebuild it, consider it. There you go. I'd like to say if women don't find you handsome, they should find you handy, but they usually work the shit out of you once they know you can do stuff. Hey, the Tundra is looking choice though. I mean, really running like a top. I just changed the oil, got this baby right. Tires are good, air pressure's good. I plan on driving this truck until I die. There's no sense buying anything new when this does the job. And until that thing strokes out, I guess I'll be driving an '02 Camry. I have to say, that's a job well done. I've now taken it out for a test drive. Nice and quiet. Nothing shifted. The rack didn't move. The boat is still in the exact same spot. The tie downs worked really well. There's a little loop of rope permanently attached to the car, front and back. And hey, tell me this doesn't look like a used Toyota parking lot. Because not only have I got the Tundra here, I've got my son's '01 Camry that we'll get to do a little work on this week. Not sure if this bad boy's going to be staying in the family. They just got a brand new Lexus and they're thinking about letting it go. Perfectly good car. Oh, it's got its scratches and, you know, dents and things. It's an old car. But this baby runs. And so does this one. This one does not burn a drop of oil. It's running good. This thing burns a little oil, runs fine. I tell you what though, anybody who's looking to get a used Camry, if I had to pick, I would choose the 2001 body style over the '02 body style. I just like the way that other car drives. But yeah, I'm really happy I got the rack on. Just gives me another option. And for the rest of its days, it'll live. Hopefully I haven't done anything that'll cause leaking in the doors. If it does, we'll fix that too.